Two strangers had been travelling for 48 hours without food, without drink, without rest. Consequently, they were very hungry, very tired, and very thirsty. As darkness fell, they were still staggering through the bush, not having found anywhere. Around them, vultures had begun to circle, because there was a drought on, and food for all the animals was scarce, and these two strangers looked so weary, the vultures thought that perhaps they had a chance. They stumbled on a little longer, and then one of the strangers, the taller man, said, "I can't go on any further. It's too much. I'm just giving up." The second stranger, the shorter one, said, "You can't give up. If you stay here, the vultures will come and rip you to shreds. You have to get up, get up, get up." The first stranger refused to rise to his feet again, and the second stranger bent down and picked the first stranger up and carried him on his shoulders until the first stranger finally agreed to walk on. They hadn't walked much further when they came across a track, and the track led to a road, and the road led to a village, and so they had hope. They walked down the road, and as is the custom in this part of the world, when you arrive at a new village, especially in the middle of the night, you call at the head person's house to let them know that you've arrived and that you're in their town as strangers. The two strangers went up to the head person's house and knocked on the door. The chief himself opened and said, "Welcome. My sentries saw you travelling on the road only 15 minutes ago and reported to me that you were going to arrive. And even now, late as it is, I'm having a guest house prepared with food, drink, where you can rest as well. Now you're very welcome to stay at the guest house. There's just one thing. It is a custom of very long standing in our village that we allow strangers to rest at our guest house, but we do not allow them to snore. If you snore, we will come with our knives in the middle of the night and we will kill you. That is our custom. But apart from that, you're very welcome to stay in the guest house, eat and drink to your heart's content. Now, do you want to stay?" Well, the two strangers looked to each other, and the first stranger said, "I know I'm safe. I don't snore because my mother said I was a perfect baby and perfect people don't snore." And the second stranger, the shorter one, said, "Well, I know I don't snore because I can honestly say I have never heard myself snore." Well, encouraged, perhaps foolishly, by each other's confidence, they went back to the chief and said, "Yes, thank you. We accept your offer of accommodation, food and drink at the guest house." The chief summoned two guards, and the guards escorted the two strangers along to the guest house. They opened the door, and the two strangers walked in. There, just as the chief had said, there was a table groaning with the finest foods imaginable, heaving with jollof rice, fried chicken, all kinds of sweetmeats, and big, big jugs of drink. The two strangers, not having eaten or drunk for almost 50 hours, they sat down at the table and began to stuff their mouths. And having eaten their fill, the first stranger, the taller one, leaned forward and grabbed a big jug, a pitcher of drink, and knocked it back. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. And the second stranger leaned forward and grabbed a pitcher of drink. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, glug, glug. But whereas the first stranger had been drinking the purest water from the deepest well of the village, the second stranger had picked up a pitcher of palm wine, the chief's own palm wine, the strongest, most potent palm wine the village had, and drunk that. So, whereas the first stranger remained remarkably clear-headed, the second stranger got exceedingly drunk. At first, he was merry drunk. Haven't we got lucky here? We've come to this place and now we've got as much food and drink as we could wish for. Then he got argumentative, as often happens when people drink too much. Give me that, give me that. I want another piece of chicken. Why are you eating so much rice? Give it me, hey? And finally, the third stranger was so affected by the palm wine that he fell flat on his face and was completely asleep. Well, all was well for a while. The first stranger carried on eating, carried on drinking the water from the pitcher that contained the water from the well, and admired the chief's artwork on his walls, and reflected on the journey, and generally acted in a very calm and sensible manner. But as he was acting thus, there came a noise. Choo. First, he got up, the first stranger, and looked out of the window. Was it the wind? What was that? Sat down, couldn't figure out what it was. Choo. What was that? This time he knew where the noise was coming from. It was coming from right under the table. He looked down, and there he saw his companion, flat on his back, snoring. Choo! Snoring away. Well, he bent down and tried to turn his companion in order to perhaps remove the obstruction from his airways so that he wouldn't snore. It didn't work. He turned him one side, he turned him the other side, it still didn't work. He tried pinching his nose so that perhaps by pinching his nose, the air would be not making so much noise while going down his throat. But that didn't work. Finally he thought the only thing to do is to slap him. And he got hold of him and he slapped him and slapped him and slapped him. Stop snoring! Choo! Went his companion. He slapped him again. Slap, slap, slap. Stop snoring! Choo! Went his companion. Just then, there came another sound. Went it was drawing nearer. The first stranger realized it was the villagers coming in the middle of the night. They were sharpening their knives, coming to kill them with the knives. In desperation, the first stranger racked his brains thinking, what can I do? What can I do? We're about to get killed. Then he came up with an idea. He invented a song, and the song went like this. Oh, we came down this road, and we found this town. People came to greet us from all around. What a wonderful village, what a wonderful town. This is our song for you. This is our tune for you. Our tune for you. Our tune for you. And whenever the snorer snored, the first stranger covered the sound of the snore by combining it and weaving it into his song. Tune for you. Song for you. Tune for you. Song for you. Tune for you. The villagers, listening, realized that something was going on. They listened carefully and thought, hang on, they're not snoring, they're singing. They must be travelling entertainers and they're practicing their songs. This is so delightful. We've not had a song and a dance for so long. The villagers put down their knives, picked up their trumpets, picked up their drums, picked up their flutes, and began to play along to the music. And then they began to dance. And there was a big party held all around the guest house. And because the snorer snored for 6 whole hours, the singer sang for 6 whole hours. Tune for you. To cover the sound of the snoring. And because the singer sang for 6 whole hours, the villagers danced and played their music for 6 whole hours. When finally the snorer stopped snoring, the singer could rest his tonsils and stop singing, and the villagers all went home for a well-earned rest. Next morning, the two strangers got up, and as is the custom in this part of the world, they called at the head person's house, the chief's house, to let him know they were leaving. He knocked on the door. The chief himself opened and said, thank you so much. You know, we had such a great time here. You amused us so much with that song, and we had a big dance around it. What a great song. And that line, tune for you. What a great line. What a great song. From now on, once a month, we will have a big party. That will be our new custom. We will have a big party, and that song will be the centerpiece of our party. You've shown us how to enjoy ourselves. As a token of gratitude and appreciation, I want to give you this bag of gold. And the chief held up this big bag of gold and placed it in the snorer's hands. For both the singer and the snorer bade the chief farewell and walked off down the road that they'd arrived on. But they hadn't got very far when they began to argue. And the singer said, you know what? That money should be mine. If I hadn't sung, we would never have got this money. I saved our lives. And the snorer said, are you crazy? This money is mine, all mine. If I hadn't snored, we'd never have got the money. My snore is what started all this off. It was my snore that made us get the money. So I'm keeping it. The money's mine, all mine. They carried on arguing and arguing and arguing about who they felt should get the money. And they could never solve the argument. And so I put it to you. Who do you think should get the money? The singer or the snorer?